A rumor popped up in a local gossip group online. Just heard she's marrying her sister's ex. Who does that? Blood means nothing these days. When Suzie's ex-boyfriend vanished without a word, she didn't care. But 5 years later he returned, engaged to her younger sister. What follows is a twisted tale of betrayal, jealousy, and one sister's dark plan to destroy a love that was never meant for her. Stay with us till the end, because karma always finds a way. Suzie had always been the star of the family, confident, beautiful, a little wild, and used to getting whatever she wanted. Her younger sister, Emily, was the quiet one. Polite. Smart. Always in Suzie's shadow. 5 years ago, Suzie dated a guy named Ryan. He was one of the good ones, kind, respectful, stable, and deeply in love with her. He worked a regular job as a civil engineer, helped his single mother with bills, and believed in long-term commitment. But for Suzie, that wasn't enough. She was always looking for more, the next thrill, the next richer guy, the next fun escape. And during her relationship with Ryan, she began seeing someone else behind his back, a flashier man from the city who promised her luxury and adventure. Ryan had no idea until one night, when he dropped by unannounced at her apartment and saw her kissing the other guy through the glass window. He didn't confront her. He didn't make a scene. He simply turned around and left her life without a word. And Suzie? She didn't bother to ask. She figured he was too boring anyway. Emily was now 27, working as a museum curator in Seattle. Her life was quiet but fulfilling. One afternoon at a historical restoration event, she struck up a conversation with a charming and grounded man who was inspecting the renovation. His name was Ryan. Neither recognized each other immediately, but over coffee conversations and shared laughter they clicked. It felt natural, organic, like they'd been meant to meet at this point in their lives. 3 months into dating, Ryan told her about his past, including a girl he once loved who betrayed him. Emily, with a soft smile, shared that she too had a complicated family, especially a sister who was unpredictable and dramatic. Neither of them knew the full truth yet, until one evening, when Emily brought Ryan home for dinner. As soon as Suzie walked into the room, her smile froze. "Ryan," she gasped. He stood up slowly. "Suzie." Emily looked between them. "Wait. You two know each other?" A long silence followed. Ryan nodded. "We used to date years ago." The air was thick. The silence explosive. Emily's face turned pale. Suzie's eyes narrowed like a predator spotting prey. That night was filled with tension and hushed arguments behind closed doors. Emily cried. Suzie slammed doors. Their parents sat stunned. But after some time, their parents came around. Emily and Ryan had found each other naturally, without manipulation or intent. And deep down, they knew Suzie's history, her recklessness, her arrogance. They even remembered how Ryan once used to visit the house with flowers and help Suzie's mom with groceries, how he was quiet and sincere. So they supported Emily. Suzie pretended to be fine. She even smiled and said, "It's funny how life works out, huh? I'm happy for you." But inside, she was fuming. For days, Suzie stalked Ryan's social media. She remembered his warmth, his loyalty, his calm energy. And suddenly, she wanted that again. No, she needed it. She visited his office under the pretense of dropping off a wedding gift. She started texting him late at night. "Hey, remember this song?" Or, "I had a dream about that lake trip we took." Ryan never responded. So she escalated. She showed up at his gym, sent flirty pictures from their past. Even told him, "I made a mistake. I didn't see what I had until it was gone." Ryan finally replied, "Suzie, please stop. I've moved on. Emily is my future." But Suzie wasn't done. She began planting doubts in Emily's mind, subtle comments like, "You ever wonder if he still thinks about me? He used to hate seafood, now he eats it with you? Don't you feel weird marrying someone I was with first?" She even tried to flirt with Ryan during family dinners, touching his arm, laughing at inside jokes from the past, wearing the perfume he once complimented. Emily noticed. One night, Emily pulled Suzie aside. "Why are you doing this?" she asked softly. "I didn't plan to fall for him. Just happened. I didn't even know he was your Ryan until it was too late." Suzie smiled coldly. "I'm fine, Em. Really. But if you're so insecure, maybe it says something about your relationship." Emily looked hurt. "You weren't happy with him. You cheated on him, Suzie." "I was young. I made a mistake," Suzie snapped. But maybe I deserve a second chance. Maybe you should ask yourself if you're just the consolation prize. Emily's eyes welled up. You're my sister. And you're marrying my ex, Suzie sneered. So let's not pretend either of us is innocent. The week leading up to the wedding was supposed to be magical flower arrangements, dress fittings, laughter, and last-minute details. But instead it became a nightmare. It started subtly. Emily received a package one morning at her doorstep. She assumed it was from one of the vendors, maybe her earrings or table numbers. Inside the box was a stack of printed photographs, old pictures of Ryan and Suzie from 5 years ago, beach vacations, candlelit dinners. One even showed Ryan kissing Suzie's forehead while she smiled at the camera. But what chilled Emily the most was the note written in a blocky, anonymous handwriting. Still think you're the first? She sat on her bed, shaking. She knew they had a past. Ryan had been honest about it. But why now? Why this? When she told Ryan, he looked concerned but composed. He gently took the photos from her hands and said, "We'll handle this together." Then the florist called. "I'm so sorry, Emily," the voice on the phone said nervously, "but we're going to have to cancel. There's been a conflict. Another client has booked us and paid double for the date." Emily's jaw clenched. "Who?" she asked. The florist hesitated. "I really can't say. But you should talk to your sister." Emily's heart dropped. Then came the veil. Her custom veil, hand-stitched by her late grandmother's best friend, vanished from the bridal suite. The seamstress swore she left it hanging on the hook just the day before. Gone. No explanation. That same day, a rumor popped up in a local gossip group online. It was a post from an anonymous account with a blurry image of Emily and Ryan at a restaurant. "Just heard she's marrying her sister's ex." Who does that? Blood means nothing these days. It was gaining traction. Comments full of judgment, strangers calling her a traitor, others saying poor Suzie. Emily broke down in tears in her car that night. Why would she do this to me? I'm her sister. Ryan wrapped an arm around her and said quietly, "I think it's time we find out." Ryan didn't confront Suzie. He didn't even mention the rumors or veil or florist. Instead, he quietly hired a private investigator, a friend from college who specialized in digital tracking and surveillance. Within 48 hours, the investigator returned with results that made Ryan's blood boil. The anonymous messages traced back to a burner email registered under a secondary number belonging to Suzie. The florist confirmed Suzie had contacted them under a different name, Vanessa Gale, and offered double payment to book the day out. The veil? Security footage from the hotel where Emily's bridal suite was located showed Suzie using her mom's spare key card late at night, slipping into the suite, and walking out with a long white garment bag. There was even audio from a vendor meeting where Suzie accidentally let it slip. You know, some weddings are better off postponed. You never know who might come back around. Emily still didn't know everything, not until Ryan walked in one evening with a folder of printed evidence. He sat beside her, opened it, and said, "I didn't want to show you this, but I think you need to see the truth." As she flipped through the documents, the burner email logs, florist transcript, stills from the security camera, Emily's hands trembled. "She really did all this," she whispered. Ryan nodded. "I gave her the benefit of the doubt for too long. But she crossed every line." Emily didn't speak for a while. Then, with tears forming in her eyes, she said, "I never wanted to come between the two of you." Ryan took her hands. "You didn't. She lost me long ago. You didn't steal anything. We found each other. That's not theft. That's fate." The night before the wedding, their closest friends and family gathered at the lakeside venue for a warm rehearsal dinner. There were candles, fairy lights, laughter, and Suzie, dressed to kill, floating through the room like nothing was wrong. Until Ryan stood up beside Emily, holding a small remote. "Before we toast, we have something important to share." A hush fell. He clicked the remote, and a screen behind them flickered to life. First, footage of Suzie entering the bridal suite at night. Gasps. Next, a screenshot of the florist's invoice under the name Vanessa Gale, along with a voice clip of Suzie talking about postponing weddings. Then messages traced back to the burner email. And finally, a photo of the veil, hidden in Suzie's trunk. Silence. Awkward shifting. Someone muttered, "Oh my God." Suzie stood up, her face drained of color. This is taken out of context." "No, Suzie," Emily said, her voice steady but cold. This is exactly who you are. You tried to ruin my wedding, our family, my happiness. All because you lost something you didn't even value when you had it. Suzie's voice cracked. He was mine. You cheated on him, Ryan said sharply. You didn't care where I went or why I left. And now you think you deserve me back because your life isn't working out. People looked away. Suzie's parents looked stunned, ashamed. The wedding still happened, more beautiful than ever. But Suzie's world? It crumbled. Word spread fast. Friends distanced themselves. Work opportunities dried up. She tried dating, but the moment people heard what she did, things always went cold. Even her own family was cautious, afraid to invite her to events, unsure of what she might try next. In a quiet, bitter moment, she told a friend, "It's like no one trusts me anymore." Her friend looked at her and said, "Because you destroyed the one thing that should have been sacred, your sister's happiness. Not over love, over pride. Some people don't value what they have until it's gone. Some try to destroy others just to feel powerful again. But love built on truth always survives." And as for Suzie? Suzie was left alone, not because she didn't find love, but because her actions turned everyone's hearts away. If this story left you speechless or made your heart heavy, hit that like button. For more dark, twisted tales of family, betrayal, and redemption, subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't believe what's coming next.